Hey there guys, what is going on? We do finally have the Season 5 Reloaded patch in Cold War, and today, of course, as you could tell by the title, we're going to be talking about the 10 best class setups in Cold War right now. This is, as I said, of the Season 5 Reloaded patch, and there was some pretty significant balance changes from the most recent update. Basically, the Tec-9 and the EM2 did actually get nerfed, but they both still feature on this list as they are still very, very powerful weapons in this game. Just before we do get into it here though, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. I do massively appreciate it, and it really does help me out. Every time I see that little number grow, I know that means more people getting added to our community, which is absolutely fantastic. So let's talk about the top 10 best class setups in Cold War Season 5 Reloaded. So we'll do this by category. We're starting off with the assault rifles, and this is the AK47 first up on our list. Keep in mind that these are not going to be in any particular order, but the AK47 is still one of the best guns in the game. That is no doubts about that one. Basically, you get a 300 millisecond time to kill out to 70 meters, which is really, really strong on most maps in this game. So we don't have to go over the rest of our class setup every single time we talk about one of these classes. We're just going to go over it quickly here. We have the Marshal here with the cut down barrel, the Dragon's Breath, and of course the dual wield. We have the Stim Shot, we have the Semtex, we have the Field Microphone, we have Flak Jacket, we have Forward Intel, we have Assassin, we have Scavenger, we have Ninja, and we have Ghost. And of course we have Perk Grid to allow us to have those 6 perks. Keep in mind, you can switch out any of these available options. So the AK-47, as I said, is one of the most powerful weapons in this game. 300 millisecond TTK is just a great number to hit. Starting us off here with that suppressor here for that muzzle flash concealment. Basically, we use a suppressor so we don't appear on the radar when we are firing. This is very, very important for staying alive, as good players will hunt you down when you fire unsuppressed weapons. Then we move to the VDV reinforced barrel for a 100% increase to our effective damage range, as well as 40% increase to our bullet velocity here. Again, this does allow us to get those numbers that we did talk about before. About 950 meters per second of bullet velocity, that 70 meter damage range, as well as that 300 millisecond TTK. In the underbarrel slot, we do have the Spetsnaz speed grip to allow us to be a little bit more aggressive when we do push around, with that extra 5% sprinting movement speed, as well as 15% horizontal recoil control does help keep us on target here. Then of course we go to the handle for the Serpent Wrap for the 25% increase to our aim down sight speed. The reason we don't take the Grew Elastic Wrap on a lot of these class setups unless we are using a large magazine is basically we don't want to reduce our shooting movement speed and our sprint to fire speed by as much as the Grew Elastic Wrap, so just keep that in mind here. And then to round this off here, we do have the KGB Skeletal stock here. This does give us 30% sprint out time as well as 40% aim walking movement speed, allowing us to be a little bit more fast when we are aim down sight, which you do want to do a fair bit with this particular weapon. Get those sights up and absolutely dome people. Moving to the next assault rifle here, we do have the Fara 83. Now this thing is still an absolute demon in this game as well. Very, very similar to the AK-47. Does feature that 300 millisecond TTK out to 50 meters with this particular build, but you can actually take that to 60-65 meters depending on your barrel attachment. Again, the rest of the class is as the same we talked about previously, so we're not going to go over that again. We are just going to go over the attachments on the Fara 83 here. Now, we do start off again with that suppressor here, but you can take a Spetsnaz compensator as well for that recoil control if you do prefer that. I don't think this thing has too much bounce as it is, so you don't actually have to worry about that. We just want the suppressor so we stay suppressed on the minimap. Then the barrel, we take that Liberator barrel for a 100% increase to our bullet velocity here. This does give us an absolutely ridiculous 1400 meters per second of bullet velocity, which is absolutely insanely great for hit detection. Means your bullets are almost hit scan with this. Then underbarrel again for that Spetsnaz speed grip, 5% sprinting movement speed does allow us to be a little bit more aggressive here, move around the map, rush a little bit more, get to the power positions on most maps, as well as 15% increase to our horizontal recoil control is just a nice little boost here to help keep us on target. Then we have the handle again for the Serpent Wrap, 25% increase to our aim down sight speed, get those sights up nice and quickly. And again, we finish this off with the KGB Skeletal stock for the sprint to fire speed and aim walking movement speed. Again, you can switch this out for a magazine attachment if you do prefer, but I like the extra aim walking movement speed with this thing, so just keep that in mind. Again, we do have another assault rifle here, what I believe is still probably the most powerful one in the game. It did get nerfed, as I said recently, in the EM2. They did reduce the fire rate with the Task Force barrel by about 7%, making it about 500 rounds per minute, which is still decent, but it is definitely slower than it was previously. But again, the attachments on this thing are more designed around a close range build, so it is a lot easier for us to hit shots here. We are taking that Microflex LED to start us off here, but you can just run the normal sight on this thing. Don't worry about this too much if you don't prefer close range optics. Then you take the suppressor again for the muzzle flash concealment. A lot of these class setups are suppressed because we don't want to die as easily when we are firing unsuppressed weapons. Then the barrel again for the Task Force. This is still a necessary evil on this thing. Does add that fire rate reduction, does add that extra recoil, but this thing's still a laser beam as it is, so don't worry about the recoil too much. Basically, this gives us that 3-shot kill, good damage range values, and good bullet velocity values as well. Moving on, we do have the magazine here. Because this thing doesn't only have a 20-round magazine by default, having more bullets to fire in this thing with the 40-round mag is a very, very important attachment. And then we round this off with the airborne elastic wrap here, because as I said, we did take a magazine attachment. We just want to touch more aim down sight speed, so a 30% increase in the airborne elastic wrap is a massive boost here. Then we do have the SMGs. Now, two of these class setups are very, very similar to one another. As you can see, we've got in the 4 slot, we've got Tec-9, and in the 5 slot, we've got the Tec-9, but they are different. So this is the fully automatic variant. This is still allowing us to get a 3-shot kill with the task force barrel. All you have to do is get 2 body shots and a headshot, and you get the same TTK value that we did get before the nerf, which is so cool. So again, the attachments here starting us off with the full auto repeater. This is the thing that did get nerfed. That damage number did get taken down to 41 without the task force barrel, meaning we couldn't get that 3-shot kill. But because it does hit 45 damage with the task force barrel, this does actually allow us to get that 3-shot kill, as I mentioned, as well as increasing our fire and giving us that automatic fire as well. You already know what the next attachment is. We talked about the task force barrel here. This does give us that damage increase as well as effective damage range and bullet velocity. As I said, 3-shot kill with this thing, if you get that headshot, is very important. That is what makes the AK-74U so good, so just keep that in mind here. Then we get the underbarrel. We do actually have the field agent grip here for the 6% increase to our vertical recoil control and 20% horizontal recoil control. Basically, this does allow us to keep us on target here. Can be a little bouncy with the task force barrel with this thing, and this does help keep us on target. Then we have the 39 round mag, again because this does have quite a small magazine by default. I believe it's 21. This does allow us to fire for longer, get in more gunfights without having to reload. And then, because we are taking a magazine attachment, again, we finish this off with the airborne elastic wrap for the fastest aim down sight speed here at a 30% increase to our aim down sight speed. After the Tec-9, we do have the Tec-9. Now, this is a little bit different. We have featured this already with the Burst Fire Class Setup. This thing didn't get touched. It still gives you a 1 burst kill out to about 20 meters or so, which is really fun. Does feature a similar TTK value of about 220 milliseconds. We can compare that to the KSP, which is really fun. Again, first attachment, burst fire repeater, 17% increase to our fire rate, taking that number, of course, to 526 rounds per minute, as well as increasing our horizontal recoil by 10%. Then the barrel, again, the task force does allow us to get as many 1 burst kills as possible, maximizing our damage number. If you take something else, it's only 50, so you're not guaranteed 1 burst kills depending on if you do limb someone or something, so the task force just allows us to get maximum 1 burst kills here. Then the underbarrel, just a standard foregrip here for 15% increase to our horizontal recoil control. Again, a burst weapon doesn't really need too much recoil control as it is, so you can actually consider something like a patrol grip or something like a bruiser grip as well if you just want more movement speed stats. Then we actually don't run a magazine on this thing because it is a burst weapon. I don't think a magazine attachment is necessary, but if you prefer that, you can just drop off the Raider stock here, which does give us the sprint to fire speed and aim walking movement speed. This is up to you, personal choice. I wouldn't blame you if you drop the stock. But the Serpent Wrap here, again, for the 25% increase to our aim down sight speed. Because we don't run a magazine attachment, we don't need the airborne. Moving on to something isn't the Tec-9, of course, we do have the ppsh-41, which did get buffed recently as well. This did receive a pretty significant increase to its damage on the task force barrel, making it have a 5-shot kill and feature a TTK value of about 270 milliseconds, which is definitely one of the better SMGs in this game right now. Starting off here, we do have the KGB Eliminator for the 85% increase to our muzzle flash concealment and a 17% increase to our vertical recoil control. Somebody did mention to me the other day as well that the GRU suppressor is also a good attachment option for this, so try this out as well if you want full suppression and a little bit less recoil control. Then the barrel, as I said, this does have the task force 1, the damage range and bullet velocity with this thing does actually allow us to get that 5-shot kill here with a damage number of 30 at to about 22 meters. Moving on here, we do have the underbarrel. We've got the Spetsnaz grip here because this thing, as I said, does have a little bit of kick here, so we need to rein that in. Vertical recoil control and horizontal recoil control increases of 8 and 22% respectively. Moving to the magazine, we do have the 55 round drum, meaning we can fire for a long time with this thing. 55 rounds in an SMG is an awful lot here, so this is really nice. And then we round this off with the Serpent Wrap because we don't actually reduce our aim down sight speed with our magazine attachment. 25% increase to our aim down sight speed is still a nice boost here while maintaining our close range stats in shooting movement speed and sprint to fire speed. Moving on here, again, the LC-10. I feel like this is still a pretty good weapon. I feel like it sort of more falls into that hybrid SMG, sort of assault rifle hybrid, which is still quite popular in this game. Ridiculously accurate, super easy weapon to use. You can just absolutely dome people from pretty far away. Again, the attachment on this thing are as follows. Starting off with that SOCOM Eliminator here, we do have the muzzle flash concealment increase and vertical recoil control increase of 17%. Again, our red dot does disappear from the map quite quickly with this, as well as keeping us on target. Again, the task force barrel here for damage range and bullet velocity. This is a really nice option to hit as hard and as fast as possible at those longer distances. In the underbarrel slot, because this thing does have a little bit more recoil than it used to, at the first and the 12th bullet, I believe the field agent grip does allow us to stay on target here. But you can just take a standard foregrip if you prefer that, or you can even drop this off entirely if you're an absolute gunner at recoil control. Then we do have the handle here for the Serpent Wrap, 25% increase to that aim down sight speed, again getting those sights up nice and quickly and not reducing our shooting movement speed and sprint to fire speed by as much as the airborne elastic wrap. And then we finish this off, of course, with the Raider stock, increasing our sprint to fire speed and our aim walking movement speed by 30 and 10%. Moving on here to an absolute fan favorite here, the AK-74U is still one of the best guns in the game, has a ridiculously fast TTK value up close. I think you get like 150 milliseconds or 160 milliseconds if you are getting a 3-shot kill with this thing out to about 10 meters or so. So it is a flawed weapon as it is only really used up close, but that's what an SMG is for. So this thing is still an absolute powerhouse up close, so just keep that in mind. Attachments on the AK-74U are as follows here. Starting off with that Spetsnaz compensator for 12% increase to our vertical recoil control does help keep those shots down as our recoil is increased from the task force barrel, which does give us that damage range and bullet velocity. Does actually allow us to get that 3-shot kill here. If we do get a headshot or 2 with this thing, you absolutely mow people down. It's ridiculously fast, so just keep that in mind here. Then we have the underbarrel here. That full grip here does give us that 18% increase to our horizontal recoil control, allowing us to stay on target with this thing, in combination, of course, with the infantry compensator. Then we move to the handle. Again, serpent wrap here, 25% increase to our aim down sight speed is a really nice boost here. Don't really need the groove elastic wrap with this thing unless you're taking a magazine attachment. And to round this off here, you can take the KGB skeletal stock for the sprinter fire speed and the aim walking movement speed increases, or you can just take a magazine attachment. This is up to you. Then we do have what I believe are the 2 best snipers in the game right now in the Swiss K31 and of course the M82. Talking about the Swiss K31 first, this is more designed around quickscoping. A very fast aim down sight speed compared to some of the other snipers in this game means this is the close range demon of this game. Quickscoping with this thing is so much fun if you're actually good at it. Again, the attachments on this thing are a little bit freeform. You can take like the underbarrel off, you can take like a muzzle for the sound moderator. I've definitely seen people using that at close range, a really reliable option and very cool for stealth. But you can also take something like a target team spotlight for more reveal distance, or you can just take like the infiltrator grip as we had previously as well for more movement speed stats. But basically the rest are already set in stone in the target team barrel for more damage here and a better one-shot kill zone. Then we get the magazine as well. You want more bullets to fire with this thing. Then the handle, of course, we have that serpent wrap for the most amount of aim down sight speed here, a 14% increase. And then, of course, we do have the Raider stock here. Sprinter fire speed and aim walking movement speed is a nice increase for our sniper here. Again, moving on here, we do actually still have the M82, man. This thing is an absolute demon, and I have not even unlocked all the attachments for it. I just know this thing is absolutely insane, especially if you do get that Tiger Team barrel, which we actually haven't unlocked yet. Damage increase, rate of fire increase, and bullet velocity increase. You cannot really go wrong with this thing. I think it also improves your one-shot kill zones as well. Then we combine this, of course, with the Serpent Wrap. Again, 12% increase to our aim down sight speed. Does help keep us on target here. And then we do have the underbarrel as well. Infiltrator grip is a 5% movement speed stat across the board, but again, you can take something like a Tiger Team Spotlight if you do prefer that. Again, a magazine attachment, so we do have more bullets to fire with this thing. 7-round mag does get decreased a little bit when we do have the Tiger Team barrel, so just keep that in mind. And then, of course, we do round this off with the CQB pad or the Raider pad as well, depending on how you do want to play. You probably want to go with the Raider pad just for the increase to our aim walking movement speed as well as sprinter fire speed, but we've only got the CQB pad unlocked at the moment. There it is, guys. That is my take on the top 10 best weapons in Cold War Season 5 Reloaded. I think there is a lot of absolutely fantastic weapons in this. This could have been 15, 20 guns, man. There's so many good guns in this game right now. They keep balancing, they keep tweaking some numbers here and there. Making new guns good is always an absolutely fantastic thing in this game. It allows me to make content for you guys, which is so cool. So again, thank you very much for watching this one. I do massively appreciate it, of course. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on if you have not already done so, because as I said at the start of the video, it is absolutely massive for me when this community grows, even by 1 or 2 per day. It's absolutely fantastic, and I love talking to you guys. So again, thank you very much for watching, as I said, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!